Hi, beautiful soul. Welcome to this episode where I wanted to share a bit of an update, even though I plan on checking tomorrow as well. But there are so many messages that came through, and I just want to lay it all out there before this big shift that we are currently undergoing. And by the way, brace yourselves, because it's not only Pluto changing into Aquarius. We have two very, very big upcoming events, energetic shifts, collective energetic shifts that are very significant for this journey of ascension. The first one occurs this week, tomorrow, or in a couple of days, I think, for some of you, on the 20th, and that is Pluto shifting in Aquarius. Okay, this is major. It's a very prophetic time. We are really coming out of this energy of the Capricorn energy of discipline and trials, and it's been like that for over 15 or 20 years. And Pluto is the planet of rebirth and transformation. Pluto doesn't joke around, doesn't play around, okay? And what Pluto in Aquarius represents is innovation on a personal level, on a larger scale as well. And what we're going to be dealing with is everything new. And because everything is new, this is a very important message that I wanted to really share with all of you, is that in order for things to really be shaken from the ground up, to really be rebuilt from scratch, the old has to go. And what we have been experiencing very strongly over the past, over this transition with Pluto in Capricorn, but especially very accelerated over the past 4 years, even more so 2 years, and even more so the past 6 months. Okay, what we have been experiencing is, if you're familiar with tarot, is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords in traditional tarot is represented by a man laying on the ground, and he has 10 swords on his back, okay? And this represents just, maximum amount of hardship that he can bear. But after the 10, here comes a new cycle, right? Here comes the page, here comes the aces in tarot, and that was the cycle that we have gone through. The reason why, and I think I'm going to be calling this episode, why is it so hard? The reason why it has been so freaking challenging, it's because we have been shifting from the 3D into the 5D, and over the past years, especially the past 4 years, we have been lingering in the 4D. And the 4D is not really a place where you want to stay. The 4D is the unseen. The 4D, it was all this work, internal work that we did, is the subconscious, is the shadows, the shadow work that we have done, okay? But it's not a place where you want to stay for long. And it's quite interesting, right? Because it's not like a stairs that you go, from 3D to 4D and it's an upgrade. No, the 4D it's only a transition. Okay, and I don't know if I have shared this before, but it's not a place where you want to settle. Okay, it's like you're just renting. You're just renting for a few years, or a few years, and then you can finally, just settle into your new beautiful castle in the 5D. Okay, it's an upgrade, but you gotta go through a period of time where you are dealing with the destruction of the old. And if you're wondering why it was so hard, it's because we have literally just been in a process of destruction of the old with the Pluto in Capricorn, right? Capricorn, again, Pluto is rebirth, transformation, massive changes on this level. It's literally the planet of death. Pluto is the planet of death. And with Capricorn, it really dragged us through the valley of the shadow of death. And now we are reborn as a collective, as you know, as a race, as humanity. Okay. Obviously on a soul level, we knew this is what we came here to do, right? And let's go, right? We knew that there was something at the end of the tunnel. Otherwise, you know, as we say, without hope, without faith, it's really hard. Life on Earth is pretty harsh, or it was. Now, on a human perspective, however, is just going through destruction in all areas of your life, just going through ego deaths, going through spiritual awakenings, going through the literal decomposing your whole entire identity and who you thought you were. And with that comes the crumbling of your entire life foundation as you knew it. And that was the 4D, okay? As we are right now, the doors to 5D are open, meaning we are... Okay, so first of all, the process is really accelerating. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's right now the door to heaven is open and we're just, you know, settling in our cloud up in the sky. It means that we are able to... It's as we are exiting this energy of trials, of tribulations, of just really karmic, intense lessons, we are stepping into an energy where we are much more easily able to access the 5D energies, the quantum field. But with that comes a whole new operating system and a whole new way of being. It's going to be very different, and with that comes the acknowledgement of, okay, it's a new era, meaning everything will be new. We really just got to rewire our whole entire system to a new reality. Okay, and it may feel destabilizing because as we were used to a different foundation, different rules, right? It's like changing, literally changing, I don't know, changing countries or moving to a different place. Like you gotta get used to the new language, you gotta get used to a new culture, whatever. It's all these details that are really going to I guess what I really want to share is that we need to get used to this. We gotta be prepared. Okay, it's a change for the better, but from a human perspective, sometimes it's not always obvious to see it. Okay, when you go through a breakup, or when you go through a divorce, or maybe you've lost your job, endings are hard from a human perspective. It's like at the end of the world because it is the end of a world. But from our soul perspective, it's an upgrade. However, it is only through hope, faith, and holding the vision of what we know in our soul to be true that we can really go through this process of deconstruction and destruction, which is, again, what Pluto does. So Pluto right now, it's, it's been deconstructing and destroying the old reality, and now we are using the energy of Aquarius, which is my visionary sign, and we are using that beautiful energy of Aquarius to build the new and to build out of the box. So this is the first transition. The second transition will be the full moon in Leo next week. I believe it's on the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. That is a major shakeup. Leo is in a good way, but I just want to, let you know that the next few weeks are going to be pretty intense. So just really to be prepared. Full moon in Leo. It's a lot about balancing, actually. It's inner union, because the sun is the masculine energy, okay? And the moon is the feminine energy. So full moon in Leo, which is sun plus moon, it's a lot of harmonious inner union. Now you may be invited, and we're going to be checking in tomorrow as well. We're going to be invited to work on our inner union. And so the full moon in Leo is a powerful, almost like a culmination of all this build-up energy, where I know I have been saying this for a long time. A long time. I started my channel a few months ago, but I have been working on this for over 2-3 years. It was truly a primary focus, the alignment and harmonizing the internal energies of the masculine and feminine. Why? Because this is how we this is the ingredients of oneness. When the matrix and everything we see, this distorted system, is built on the separation of the feminine and the masculine, the sacred feminine and the masculine, and building distorted role models for each of them. This is why there are so many dysfunctional relationships in the world today, regardless of how they look on the surface. There is no emotional intimacy. There is no true soul depth connection, because we have been used to living in a world where there is no such thing. There is no spiritual dimension. There is no soul connection. And so how can you expect someone to be emotionally invested into another person when they're not emotionally invested in themselves? So here's what I want to say. This is really, I don't want to go too much into details now. I believe we're going to be looking into it in the next, when we will be checking in for this week's, next week's energies. But I really want to say that it is really an opportunity to look at this dynamic within yourself. And the way you can see that, I know it's a little bit of an abstract work, right? Energetic work. I want to say there is no separation between the physical and the energetic. The physical is just translation of our internal condition, and it's a reflection of that. So look at the ways in which you engage with the masculine energy in your life, and look at the ways you engage with the feminine energy in your life, meaning how you look at feminine energy in general, how you what your thoughts and beliefs are about, men are like that, women are like that, right? And when you reject that, you reject your own internal energy on both ends. Okay, if you don't feel supported, if you feel if you're almost in a constant fear of life, this is when your masculine energy is not strong enough to help you really, pierce through these levels of to navigate life in a way where you feel safe. So your feminine energy will not, you will be relying on a distorted masculine energy to help you get through life. The same goes with when you're not in touch with your emotions, when you're not connected with your internal guidance and intuition and feminine energy and sensuality, when you're just going on autopilot and, just action and doing things and not in the beingness, that is when you're rejecting your internal feminine energy, and that is how it's going to be projected on an external world with the kind of feminine energy that you attract in your life. I really just want to say this because it's really important. There are so many energies. There are so many energies all around us and in the world, okay? It's so much, and our mind, our brains are an incredibly helpful tool to help us filter out the noise. If we were to be fully open to everything that there is and that we see and we don't see, we would be just completely overwhelmed. Our system, and this is even one of the transitions in which we're moving into, is like we're capable of accessing more, with the opening of a whole new dimension, which is a spiritual dimension. We need to get our systems used to interpret and come in contact with new energies and new realities, okay? That's just what I want to put out there. And so what your brain does is going to filter out the kind of energy it's not used to. So let's just say you have a particular belief and a particular paradigm around how women are, okay? Because of the kind of, maybe because of your the way you've been raised, maybe because of culture, etc. So what you'll be doing is your brain will constantly be looking for evidence to what you already know, and this is how you're gonna be passing along opportunities to open up to whole new experience, right? Unless you truly live life on a curious, open-minded, day-to-day learning experience, which is what we did when we were kids. Unless you do that, then you're just on autopilot and just living from the perspective of your past experiences, which is all these women that I've been wounded by, all these, life is just this way, or I've never succeeded in my life, or this never happened to me. You are going to keep being attracted to the same kind of experience. Now, when you open your eyes in the morning and just say, this is a whole new opportunity for me to experience life, and let me see what's out there. Let me see how can I want to see what, first of all, I'm curious to see what works for me. This is very important. What is the kind of reality that I want, that my soul desires? And let me see how can I engage with the world in a way where I can create that. So this is an empowered state. We talked yesterday about the creator mindset, but we need to really challenge our beliefs constantly. If you have been struggling with a particular issue in your life over and over and over and over again, just know that it is your brain creating this experience. And I know it sounds like it's challenging on a human perspective, but your soul is connected to just so much more. And it is also a way of, it's a protection mechanism, because your brain just doesn't want to, if you lock yourself into this perspective of a little bit of a victim mentality, then it sounds, what I'm about to say, it sounds a little bit contradictory or counterintuitive, because you suffer when you feel like you are suffering when you are in an ego mind perspective and projecting that the world is a certain way and you live inside of that experience, right? But this is actually your ego's, your brain's way to protect you from truly feeling what's underneath that victim identity. To give you an example, is for a very long time I was, really just in so much resentment towards just humanity. It's really humanity. Well, in the end, it really helped me open up to different energetic, different, let's just say, spiritual experiences, which, everything was guided, everything was in my path for a reason. But my whole system was protecting me from opening my heart and really allowing my true self and my soul to be seen, because that is the true pain and that true painful experience. It's not when we live inside of this victim bubble and protect ourselves. That is perceived suffering. That is superficially, surface level suffering. The real suffering is when we open our hearts and see the kind of experiences that were so traumatic in our childhood that we immediately closed our system. When you live open-hearted, this is why, by the way, this is a reason why most of humanity lives in this unconscious state, is because living in an open-hearted experience of life, especially in today's world where there's constant judgment, there are all these demands, it is heartbreaking. Okay, so I'm not telling you, just go live as a, fully open in today's world. We need an ego to survive. We need the ego to protect us. But the problem comes when you identify with that ego in a way where you no longer know who is your true self and who is the character playing, who is the one that is protecting from the world. And especially those of you listening to this channel, you are highly sensitive. You are starseeds. You have a very deep, amazing, beautiful inner world. It's just a vast, whole, entire universe to explore. And as you try to box yourself into this very superficial, very surface level matrix, you had to build an ego. You had to be the persona that helped you navigate this reality. Well, guess what? You will no longer need that, because now we are undoing all that crap. I keep sharing this on this channel, that you have to let go of who you had to be to survive in the 3D, meaning that persona. And the process to go through that, it is painful, because you will have to come back to the reasons why you did it in the first place, experience that pain, really do the inner child work, and heal those core wounds, so that your soul is no longer fragmented. Our soul is fragmented, and we split into these different personas when we carry deep soul wounds, deep inner wounds that we may not be able to see on our own. And this is why I can help you with on a professional level, where I help you identify some of those deep core wounds. Because here's what is in my experience over the past 10 years, I've been on this journey for 10 years, and I've been seeing so many professionals, which some were incredible, but unless it's a person who has a similar who can understand you on a soul level, they cannot go to the depth of your experiences. And you can go to a therapist and keep telling them that you feel like you don't belong, and or that you've been struggling maybe with depression your whole life because this world is just too much for you. And they will give you pills, or they will, if they cannot reach your level of depth, and if they have not themselves gone through this experience of just, of what it's like to be a starseed on Earth, they cannot help you because they cannot hold space for you in those moments. It's only someone who has gone through these experiences themselves that can help you and that can truly see you, because in order for us to come out of these experiences, we need to have a space, a safe space to allow these stored energy within us and within our soul to be liberated from our body. And these kind of safe containers, we need to build those within ourselves. Okay, this is truly the healer energy within us, the feminine energy within us, and also the masculine energy within us. So this is your internal system that you need to build so that you are able to self-regulate. I shared an episode on that. It's called, it's called self-regulation. But unless you build that within yourself to help you navigate the world and to know how to really understand your emotions, transmute your emotions on a daily basis, the more you're going to become a master in doing that, the easier it will be to just, spot. It's not always going to be like that. I really just want to share that. It is just the fact that we have been navigating reality without understanding our inner world. And now it's like you're learning a whole new language. At the beginning, if you have studied other language, it's just nonsense, right? You hear just random words, and it's very challenging in the beginning to learn a whole new language, or I don't know, just a new programming language, or just any skill. Okay, any skill. In the beginning, it is frustrating. The same goes with spirituality, the same goes with the energetic, the same goes with your emotions and the healing, okay? Once you do that and you learn the language of your emotions, it becomes easier. But in the beginning, if you know that you need this kind of support, reach out because it's something that I have been diving into for so long, and I have been working with so many people until now that it's become a true passion to help I love to say to resurrect a lost soul from the matrix, meaning to give you that. When you re-embody your soul, it's like you have been living without a soul, like an ego, like a persona, or acting like an actor in your life, but not truly in your soul was not in your body. And this is in shamanism what we call soul retrieval. It's really like, it's on an energetic level, it's these soul fragments, parts of your soul that have not been in your body, just literally, energetically. Okay. So, that being said, right, before we are able to do that on our own, we need that safe container first to practice, just like you need a piano teacher, or like you need a guide or a sports coach in the beginning. Then once you start, building your own emotional muscle, your own energetic muscle, spiritual muscle, you're like, oh, okay, I think I can do that on my own, But in the beginning, it can feel like just completely overwhelming. And this is why my services are primarily addressed to masculine energies, because I know that society has oppressed men into believing that into living in separation with their emotional world, and this is shattering. Okay, it's heartbreaking to me to witness that. And so it has become truly a mission to really help to help you rediscover that. And that happened to me on a personal level. Even though I'm primarily in my feminine energy most of the time, I have been living life as a masculine, truly in my masculine energy. And my feminine side, which is the soul, which is the intuition, which are our emotions, this is the feminine energy within us, it was not there because of all the heartbreak, because of how I had to live my life in survival and proving myself and all that kind of things. And that led me to really a breaking point where I just really couldn't go on like that anymore. And throughout this beautiful journey, I was able to reintegrate the lost parts within my soul and to have this colorful, vivid life experience where I live as my true self out into the world, where the ego and the soul are both aligned, the mind and the body. This is the inner union, and this is a beautiful culmination with the full moon in Leo that we are going to experience next week. So I truly, truly hope that this message helped you understand a little bit more of the dynamics and a little bit more of the spiritual math of what we're here to do, and maybe why you are experiencing certain things. But this is we're gonna dive deeper into that. I'm so excited for the next energy check. And the third and the last thing that I won't go into details, but it's on the 10th of February. This is where we change the Chinese calendar and we're stepping into the dragon, the year of the dragon. So, right, the dragon is the most powerful figure in the Chinese calendar. So you can imagine what kind of year we are entering into. It's powerful. It's very masculine energy. It's very physical. It's very grounded. So we are truly, everything that you have been doing over the past years, if not decade, is going to be physically manifested. So it is what I'm seeing, and with that, I will continue that in another episode. But what I'm seeing is we have been in this most passive, more feminine healing space over the past years, and now we are. I'm personally as well invited to really, really go back into my masculine energy a little bit more so that I can balance out these energies. This is what I've been sharing in the beginning of the year. This year is about grounding, meaning, yes, we have learned and unlearned all these things, but they have happened a bit more in introspective level, a little bit more relying on your feminine energy, a lot of thinking, a lot of processing, a lot of projecting, a lot of envisioning, but that was passive. Okay, now we are using all of that knowledge and everything that we have learned, and again unlearned, and now we are transforming that into action, into tangible results, into physical results. And this is what these next few weeks are going to be all about. So I hope this was helpful, and I was truly guided to share this because it's important to prepare yourself. Okay, and as I was being guided as I've been connecting with the energies, what I've been hearing is that, what I've been really seeing, and also in my personal life, is spring is really going to bring a whole, with the new spring equinox, a whole new world. So now we are really going through these just pretty drastic changes in our own lives. So be prepared. And then from spring, we're gonna see it like really tangibly, really physically, because now we're still moving out of this energy of healing and all of these things, and now moving into engaging with reality in a whole different way. Okay, and this is also why I was guided to start working to launch this new program, where I'll be working with a handful of people on one-on-one, and this will be the last chance to work with me one-on-one. If this is something you feel guided, if you feel interested, to really help you during this spring season rebirth into a whole new life. And I will be your guide on this path to the new Age of Aquarius, a new operating system, and really help you align mind, body, and soul to a whole new you, to a whole new way of existence. That being said, I will leave it there. It's a lot of information. And let me know in the comments below if and how this message resonated and if it was helpful. And I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.